everybody. Yeah, like you said, my name's Hannah Vestal, and I'm a senior at SLU studying psychology and public health. So I grew up with a mom who was a therapist, and one thing she taught me is that patients actually don't lie down. She has a regular couch that they sit on, so that's one thing. But more importantly, she taught me a lot of lessons, including one that I'm going to talk about today, that we have the power to choose our own happiness. So when I was a sophomore at SLU the spring of 2014, I decided to study abroad in South Africa, and my mom said no right away, but I made a PowerPoint presentation. I got some quotes from people, put some charts on there, and after a 2-hour Skype session and lots of tears, she finally said I could go. And so I had no idea what to expect. I didn't really know anything about South Africa, but I was so excited. And I got there, and the unexpected happened. I didn't make any friends in my house. I didn't expect that at all because I love meeting people. I'm a big people person, and I never really run into that problem before. But I just didn't really click with anybody, and it was really devastating. And so for 2 months, I was pretty alone. And I don't know if anybody has experienced just being by themselves for 2 months, but I'll tell you what my experience was like. I really found out a lot about myself. I lived in a neighborhood called Observatory because there was a big observatory there where you can look at stars. So I would go there, and they have a giant telescope. It's one of the world's biggest telescopes. So I would go there and look at the moon and the stars. And there was a planetarium in Cape Town, and I would go there and just by myself and just look at the shows and learn about the constellations, and found a real great love for the stars and the atmosphere, and that was unexpected. And another thing I found is that I really like wandering around places and just looking at people. I would just go off for hours at a time and just wander on the streets. There's a lot of people that are homeless in Cape Town, and they would always ask for money, and so I decided to, on these walks, in order to help them, I would make 20 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and just put in my backpack, and then I just walk around, talk to people, and give out sandwiches, and I don't know, just found joy in doing these things that I had never done before. Another thing was Cape Town's, it's really dangerous there, and you have to be really careful, but there's these gorgeous mountains everywhere, and so I really wanted to go hiking, but we weren't supposed to go by ourselves. And so I would just stand at the bottom of the mountain, and then whenever there was a group going, I would pretend I was with them, and then I would just go hiking with them, and sometimes they would turn around why is this girl following us? And I was just hey guys, okay. And so it was despite it sounds really fun, but you need friends, you need people to talk to, and so I would go on these walks every single day after I got home from school or my service site. I did the same path every day. It was an hour loop, and I would just pray to God. I was God, I'm having a great time, hanging out with myself, but if you could just send me one friend, that's all I'm asking for. And I feel I'm being really dramatic. I love my housemates, but I just didn't really click with anybody. So. So every day I would go on this walk, talk to God a lot because he was always there for me, and ask for a friend and just try to be patient in that time. And so one night I was just crying in my bed, kind of trying to do the muffled cry because I don't want people in my house to hear me crying, and I just really had breakdown. I was why am I supposed to be here? I told my mom, I made that PowerPoint, I was supposed to be here, and so why am I here? And so my moment happened that night when I remembered what my mom said about how you have the power to choose your own happiness. And so I was okay. I was tomorrow I'm gonna find happiness. And I didn't know where it was going to come from, but I was going to go find it. And so the next day, it was Sunday, and so I'd been going to this one church a couple miles away. So I walked there, and at the end of the service, they pulled out a screen, and they're hey, we're starting this really cool young adult group. Made it look all cool and everything, and they're like, if you want to join, like, send us an email. And so, I don't know, for some reason, I was like, yeah, I'm doing that. But, so I emailed the lady, and I was like, hey, like, I want to join, but can I actually, like, lead it? Like, I don't want to just be a member. I don't know. I figured, like, maybe this is my thing. And so she emailed back, and she was like, yeah, sure, we're having, like, our meeting tomorrow to plan it, so come on by. So I got there, and they were really nice. I think they probably thought I was really weird for, like, wanting to just join their team that they had been working on for a while, but I just sat down in their circle, and they're like, okay, they went around and like said all the tasks, and they're like, okay, Hannah, your job, you're gonna be welcoming people and making sure everybody feels included. And like, obviously they just like made this like last minute job for me, like, you know, but I was like elated. I was like, yes, I can do that. And if anybody knows me, like, I love like talking to people in a room who are like sitting alone. Like, this job was like meant for me. I was like, yes, like I was so excited, and I just felt like it was perfect. So the next day we had like the first meeting with everybody, and I stood at the door and welcomed people, and it was really cool because I mean, the reason I wanted to get involved is because I wanted to make friends, and like I was feeling really uncomfortable, but so did everybody else. Nobody else knew each other, and so you know they were looking to me to like ask directions and like go where to go, and I was like, yes, let me help you, you know. And anyway, this is a part where like if it was a movie, there'd be like a movie montage, you know, where there'd be like a song, and then it would like show everything we did. But basically, I made the best friends in my whole life in that group. We met every Tuesday, and it was the most life-giving group of people I've ever been with. They're so vulnerable. We were so open with each other. You know, I hung out with them in all my free time. And yeah, every day after school, I'd go hang out with them. I remember that Easter that we celebrated together. We worked together like 14 hours a day, and it was just constant laughter and eating carrot cake ice cream. It's a thing. And you know, my spring break trip that I had planned with my housemates, I skipped out on that just to stay back and be with these people that I had met. And so, yeah, it was just incredible that, you know, I found all these friends. And so, before I left, I had a going away party at my favorite coffee shop. It was an anarchy bookstore, which basically just means it's like a really hipster bookstore. And I rented it out, and I invited all my friends from my church. And that night, I just like took a step back, and like the whole place was filled up with people who were there to say goodbye to me from Cape Town. And it was such a beautiful moment. I guess that was another moment I can add in there. But just looking back and thinking about, okay, I was so lonely 2 months ago, and then these last 3 months have been the best 3 months of my life. And I've never felt so loved and so needed. And it was really cool. My housemates actually came to that going away party too. And they were like, whoa, so like this is what you've been doing with all your time? Like, because I never knew like where I went. And I was like, yeah, I made friends. But they ended up like loving the party and like meeting my friends. And I think they were just happy for me that I had found a place there. And so I guess to leave you with a couple of things. One, that therapists know their shit. They know what they're talking about. Listen to them. And then two, that every day you should go and have the power to find your happiness. Thank you.
It's a nice folder. Sorry. Thanks.